Hi, I need some help with my marketing. Yeah, just posted on TikTok, got only 47 views, and now the CEO is asking why we haven't gone viral yet. It's been only 5 minutes. I know, but apparently, if it's not viral in 5 minutes, I'm not doing my job properly. I need help marketing my product. Ah, perfect. So, first question is, do you have TikTok? No. What about Instagram? Yeah, I have Instagram. Ah, great. And how many followers do you have? Like 200? Ah, okay. Well, we can work with that. We need to go viral, create some buzz, and, maximize engagement across all platforms. Can you explain what you actually do? Basically, I just make posts all day that nobody sees and get yelled at when, a product doesn't sell. And I also pretend to understand Google Analytics. That's it? Oh, yeah. And I actually argue with sales a lot because, their leads don't convert. And apparently that's also my fault. Okay. And what's your strategy? Post everywhere, basically, and pray something works. When it doesn't, then I say, we're building for brand awareness and we're playing the long game. Does that actually work? The strategy? No, no, no. But the excuse, yeah, every time almost. How much does marketing cost? Well, my CEO gave me I think like $200 worth of budget and said, just make it go viral like that TikTok guy. Which guy? What do you mean? I don't know. I have no idea. Some random person got lucky on TikTok, and now I'm supposed to, replicate that with some pocket change. Well, that sounds like it's a terrible spend of money. Yeah, but I prefer to call it building our brand presence for future conversions. And it just sounds better, when I'm in a meeting. Have you ever had a successful campaign? Once, one time, yeah, that was a pretty crazy ride. But I just made a post that got like 500 likes, and I printed it out as fast as I could, and I framed it on the wall. And what happened next? Well, then the CEO asked me, why don't you do that every time? And I wanted to scream because I don't know what works. But, instead I said, we're analyzing the data. I got to keep my job. Did you actually analyze it? Yeah, I stared at it for like about 4 hours. Then I copied the same format. And the next time only got 12 likes, only coworkers. What about influencers? Is that something you guys are doing? Oh yeah, we tried that before, yeah. And I paid some guy with like 50k followers about like $300 to post about us. And did it work? We got about zero sales, but the CEO's nephew said the engagement was good. So it's a win, somehow. What's engagement? Oh, that's basically, likes, comments, shares, basically anything except, people actually buying. So basically meaningless. Yeah, yeah, meaningless. But don't tell my boss, he thinks 100 likes equals 100 customers. How long does creating the content actually take? Phew, yeah, I spend, about 6 hours making the perfect post. Then I send it to my boss, and then they want to, change the font, change the color. And then I send it to their boss, and they want, different colors again. So how many people approve one post? About, I would say 5 people. Takes, usually about 2 weeks. And by then, the trend is already dead, and we're posting about something nobody cares anymore. Can't you just do it faster? Yeah, last week I actually made a post about a trending meme and got approval about like 12 days later, and the meme was already dead for a week. So that's ridiculous. Yeah, welcome to marketing. where everything's urgent, but also needs approval from about, 7 people. What happens when the CEO doesn't like something? Yeah, he usually says like make it pop, add some more energy, and I just, add a gradient and hope for the best, Does he even notice? Yeah, last time he said perfect, exactly what I wanted, and it was the same post, with a logo like 2% bigger. You're joking, right? I wish, yeah, but half my job is just making tiny changes to existing posts until somebody randomly, approves it. What about AI? Can that help you? Oh yeah, I use AI, definitely. ChatGPT writes, almost half my posts now. Does anyone even notice that you're using AI? Yeah, my CEO actually said my writing has really improved lately, but if he only knew. So what are you tracking when you're doing these campaigns? Yeah, we track views, shares, likes, clicks, and conversions. Like I have about 15 different dashboards, and I understand maybe like 3 of them. Okay, and what do you do with the data? When the numbers are, good, I actually take credit, but when they're bad, I usually just blame the algorithm. The algorithm? What do you mean? Yeah. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, their algorithm. They change, about every week and basically ruin my life. How? How does that work? Yeah, so last month we were getting, great views, and this month nothing. So algorithm changed, and now I have to figure it out or basically get fired. Well, that's not really fair, is it? Fair? My CEO saw competitors' TikTok, got about like 10K likes, and then he asked me, why can't we do that? And I tried explaining they have, 500,000 followers, 50,000 budget. And what did he say? Yeah, he basically said, sounds like excuses. So now I just say, I'm working on it. And I stress eat basically, all the snacks at lunch. Do you work weekends too? Well, somebody left a bad review Saturday at about, 9 p.m. And I got like 6 texts from my CEO. He's like, urgent, you need to respond now. What happened then? Yeah, I basically wrote an apology to the customer and offered them a refund. Customer never responded, so CEO said, good work, crisis averted. Well, that's not really a crisis. Well, everything's a crisis in marketing. One negative comment, crisis. Post getting low views, crisis. Competitor, posted something cool, ultra crisis. Why do you do this job? Honestly, I don't even know anymore. I studied, consumer behavior, brand strategy, market research. I have a degree. And now what are you going to do? Yeah, now I basically just schedule tweets and TikToks, and I get yelled at, when something doesn't go viral. There must be something you like about the job. Yeah, sometimes, very rarely though. A post works, people engage, sales go up. The boss is, happy for like 10 seconds. I feel like I know what I'm doing. How often does that happen? Well, not today. We're at like about 52 views only. Just went up 5 in the last hour. Okay. Well, maybe I'll just do my own marketing then. No. Wait. You need me. Do you know how to run Facebook ads? Set up Google Analytics? Maybe even A/B test your content? No. Exactly. So you need someone who can pretend to know what they're doing and use fancy words in meetings. That's your pitch? Seriously? That, and I know which hashtags are dead, that's worth something. Which hashtags are dead? All of them, probably. But I'll use them anyways, because the CEO likes them. Okay, I think I'm good. Wait, I can make your thing go viral. I can make it, go viral, increase engagement, build your brand. Man, gone again. Let me just check, our analytics real quick. 53 views in the last hour, went up by 1.